Welcome to today's episode. We are focusing on what you need to know before renting or buying a rural home for the first time. We moved from a city of over 1 million people to a town of around 5,000 people during the pandemic in 2021. We bought a home on 1 acre of property in rural BC. 3 years later, we couldn't be happier with our choice. Whether you're escaping city life or seeking tranquility, rural living has its unique charms and challenges. Let's dive into some of the things that came up for us when we were moving to our first rural home. First, let's talk about accessibility. Rural homes can be far from city centers. Consider the distance to workplaces, schools, hospitals, and grocery stores. Also, check the condition of roads leading to the property, especially during different weather conditions. Next up, utilities. In rural areas, you might not have access to municipal water or sewage systems. Many rural homes rely on well water and septic tanks. It's crucial to have these systems inspected before making a commitment. Also, consider the availability and cost of internet and cellular services, which can be limited in remote areas. Now, let's talk about land management. Owning a rural property often means more land, which can be both a blessing and a responsibility. Consider the time and cost of maintaining large yards, gardens, or farmland. If your property includes wooded areas or water bodies, do your research on wildlife management and land conservation. Next, something that we should have thought of when we moved here was the zoning and restrictions for our property. Rural areas can have different zoning laws affecting how you can use the land. Check for any restrictions on building additional structures, farming activities, or other ways you may want to use your land. Make sure you are able to do the things that you want to do. Another critical aspect is financing and insurance if you are buying. Rural properties can sometimes be tricky to finance due to their unique characteristics. Make sure to explore different mortgage options. Also, rural homes might require different insurance policies, especially if they are located in areas prone to natural disasters. Last, another surprise for us was the change in community and lifestyle. The community we live in is very tight and helpful, which is super nice. Our lifestyle has changed completely. I went from working downtown in a city to working from home, with no friends to go out with afterwards. I slowly built up my circle, but it was a part of my life that I needed to rebuild. There's also less access to amenities and entertainment, so I needed to find out where I belonged. Consider if the rural lifestyle aligns with your social and leisure preferences. To wrap up, renting or buying a rural home is a significant step that requires careful consideration of factors like accessibility, utilities, land management, zoning, financing, and lifestyle. Do your research, talk to locals, and spend some time in the area before making a decision to move to a rural community. That's all for today's episode on rural living.